right. Amazing, unlimited divine beings. Today I'm going to share a very powerful and life-changing mantra. I have about 4 or 5 mantras that are in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, and that I teach people who journey one-on-one with me. And this is the first quote in the book. If you adopt this and you understand this, and I know some of you already do, but I'm just putting it out there for everybody. And by the way, this is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the comments, and I'll do my best to my comment just got split up. Okay. Anyway, you can figure it out. So the first part of this book, the first quote in the book says, "Hey, Rob, it's great to see you again. There is a gift contained in every interaction and situation if you choose to have the awareness to see it." Okay? So to truly understand that every single thing that happens to us, even if it sucks, if it's shitty, if it's horrible, if it's painful, and we've all experienced this, right? From the higher soul's perspective, because we're unlimited divine beings, we chose to come down here and be here at this exciting time and go on the most fascinating, incredible roller coaster ride ever. Now, why would we choose that? If we're unlimited and we don't have a body, we can move beyond dimensions, we know everything, all our DNA is intact, we're all that is. We're basically God. No lack of abundance, nothing needs to be healed. Why would we come down here and choose to go through this? Because it's one of the greatest journeys ever. And we are here to clear and heal things for our lineage and for the collective. And what a noble act that is. And what a fascinating and unbelievable journey it is. Knowing that at some point we would awaken and remember exactly who we are and why we came here. And who we are is completely 100% unlimited divine beings. So as things happen in our reality, first of all, we have to come into this human body, which is traumatic, go through the hospital situation and all the stuff that comes along with that, and then forget every single thing that we knew about ourselves being unlimited. Our DNA got hijacked, and many other things. So in the beginning, for me, Jeff, I was like, there's no way I would have chosen to come down here and go through all this pain and suffering. You may have heard me talk about this before. And I was in resistance. I was in resistance. I was in resistance. And so I was triggered every time something showed up that I didn't like. I was in judgment around things out there. And that's the trick. Everything's inverted. And until you're open-minded enough to see that and to see that we chose to come down here and forget everything that we knew about being unlimited divine beings, we're just going to be in resistance to everything. And the 3D matrix is just going to keep running its program on us over and over. Lack, relationship issues, thinking that people are doing things to us. And there may at some point be people that did things to you. And if somebody's ever physically assaulting you or abusing you, get out of the situation. But if you're seeing things out there on the news and from history books and science and all the stuff that's been inverted, and you don't understand, to have the awareness to go, what is the gift here? I feel a little bit triggered right now. I feel like I'm in judgment right now. I'm frickin' pissed off right now. This is bullshit. People are being harmed. Things are being manipulated at the highest levels. People are being poisoned by frequencies and food and air and water and brainwashing. And yeah, I get it. But here's the good news. you knew that you were going to awaken. You knew that you would. And for some people, it takes longer than others, you know. However, there is a gift contained in every interaction and situation if you choose to have the awareness to see it. So what does that mean? It means that every time we get triggered or have a judgment or a low vibrational thought or a thought of separation from our brothers and sisters or animals or anything, we teach ourselves and train ourselves to feel that, because you can feel the emotional reactionary response. I call them automatics, automatic reactor mode. You can feel it. And taking 100% ownership and going, oh, I'm triggered right now. I just had a judgment about that person. You can feel that in your vibrational frequency because it doesn't come from love. So you train yourself to stop immediately and ask yourself this life-changing question. What is the gift that this is attempting to show me or teach me about me? It's all in the book. It's all in the online course. And it's one of the first things people learn when they come and do a one-on-one mentorship with me. And so one of the things that's really, really key is to write this stuff down in a journal. Because if you don't, what's going to happen more than likely is the ego's going to go, that's really good. Well, I should put that into practice. However, there's 50 to 80,000 thoughts running a day. There's subconscious beliefs and wounds and trauma, perhaps, if we haven't cleared them. I'm still playing with it. And it's very easy to get distracted and forget to go, okay, I'm going to stop. I just got triggered. I'm going to take some breaths so my body can relax, so my body doesn't take the hit of all these triggers and judgments and low vibrational programs running. And I can stop and smile and relax my body and let my cells know how much I love them. And then I'm going to ask, what is this situation or trigger that's coming up, attempting to show me about me? If we blame it on the other person, oh, my wife's always doing this, or my girlfriend, or my boyfriend, or, the media, or the medical system, it's great to have the awareness of that. But if you're just running that story, you're forgetting that you chose this stuff and you are unlimited in your power to shift this and heal it and clear it. And that's what I'm all about. That's what this whole book's about. That's what the whole course is about. That's what all the mentorships and things that I do with people are about. That's what my whole YouTube channel is about. There's over 100, I think there's over 300 hours of free videos where I go through these processes and I do mirroring and I talk about the programs and the wounds that Jeff had and how he was able to see things as a young child of 6 or 7 years young. I never use the word OLD because it's a spell word and your cells are listening all the time. So I say 6 or 7 years young, which is the truth of what it was for me. And I could see these programs in private Catholic schools where things were manipulated and inverted. And all the nuns were angry and pissed off. And every day was Judgment Day. And if that triggers you, it doesn't mean your experience of whatever your thing to choose to go into is inverted. But until we're willing to question everything, we're running programs. And I'll tell you, that belief system is a tiny prison. All of our beliefs came from outside of ourselves. Our beliefs aren't even our own. So if you don't question them and you just go along because it's safe and you don't want to make waves and you don't want anybody judging you, then you're trapped. That's all there is to it. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you because I experienced it heavily enough to where I was ready to leave the planet and check out because of the pain and the suffering. And I could see this is wrong. This isn't love. I mean, there was love, there's love out there. Mother Earth is just showering us with love. The animals are showering us with love if they haven't been abused. There's love, but the programming was all inverted. And that's what we were taught. And so for me, the most important thing on this journey is to undo all that programming and heal anything, any wound or trauma or belief that's still keeping us coming back into 3D through triggered responses or through fear-based responses or through less than responses. I'm still clearing that, being good enough. That program was heavily embedded and impressed upon me when my father died and my uncle felt responsible for, I guess, raising me in some way. He was brutal on me. But God bless him. He was perfectly playing his soul contract with me that I chose so I would awaken earlier instead of having to just keep recycling through incarnations. And the great part is, it's one of my great passions to share this with other people, because when the light bulb moment goes off, it changes their life forever, and they never, ever forget it. And once you begin to use these tools, or whatever tools of choice yours are, but these are the fastest ones I've ever found, because it teaches you to stop immediately every time you have a judgment or a less than thought or a trigger or a fear or a lack thought. You stop immediately. The majority of people just have that uncomfortable thought or feeling or fear, and they do whatever they can to distract it and get out of that uncomfortableness. The key is, in undoing and dismantling these old limiting programs, is to stop and ask the trillion, gazillion dollar priceless question. What is the gift here? And your ego might go, there's no gift here. I'm pissed off. These people always do this and money's rigged. And yeah, it is. But it doesn't have to be when you learn to dismantle these limiting programs. Money was difficult for me my entire life until I began to use these tools. I bought all the books on dismantling, money blocks, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon, all of them. Joseph Murray, there's a ton of them. I bought them all and I read them, and my ego went, this is really good. This is really good. This is really good. And then I'd go buy the next book and nothing would change. I did EFT tapping. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I did it for hours and hours and hours and hours. Nothing changed. Why? Because none of those books taught me how to go within and dismantle the underlying, lying keyword, subconscious belief. And so after journaling for years, I put together this book with a daily tracking sheet, which is super key, because you fill this out every evening, takes you 5 minutes. Maybe you could spend 10 minutes or a half hour with your journal. But you start to see the programs and the automatics. And here's the truth. You cannot dismantle a program, wound, or automatic unless you can see it. Otherwise, the ego will just justify it. So, does anybody have any questions around this? Questions are really good. And what I find on every live I do, if somebody asks a question, it makes everybody feel comfortable, like, I don't want to be the first one to ask a question. There's no judgment here. There's no judgment here. I won't allow it. And anybody's judgments are just their own unhealed stuff. So, does anybody have a question? Think about it. Anyway, we are in such exciting times right now where the timelines are shifting. And what do I mean by that? Timelines, like events. Like you could think of every one of those dots as a timeline. Like Jeff in lack, Jeff in unlimited abundance, Jeff wounded, Jeff healed. Jeff in an incredible relationship. Jeff in a relationship that's two wounded people. Whatever it is. It's a timeline. And they all exist right now. So there is a timeline where you're completely healed and you're completely wealthy and abundant. And then money doesn't even mean anything to you. You're free. You become free of that program that's been impressed upon us of lack and put out there by the people that are creating all the fuckery. They have all the money in the world because they can print it. So they make this program where we become slaves to it. In the beginning, I didn't think there was any way out. I was like, fuck, I've tried everything. But I didn't try everything. It's just that I didn't know, and nobody taught me how to go in and find the core belief. And one of my core beliefs was money is hard. Money is difficult, because that's how they program the 3D matrix. So people will stay stuck and they'll go, okay, I'll go get a job that I don't like, and I'll do whatever I can find that pays the most, even though it's not my passion, and I'll do that and give up 65 of the best years of my life so that then at some point, if I'm still alive, I can become retired. Retired is another spell word. Re means to recycle. Tired, you know what that means. So the key is to have the courage to only do what you love. Only do what you love. And in the beginning, there might be some fear around it. Feel into it. You know? Feel into it. Because it's a lie. It's just that program was instilled in you that you agreed to take on when you came here as part of your soul contract. Because again, you knew you would end up awakening into the true power of who you are, which is an unlimited, and I mean unlimited. And I have people that go through the course, write down unlimited in capital letters and post it around your house, post it on your bathroom mirror. Until you get that you're unlimited, you're limited. And by agreeing and understanding from a higher perspective that you're unlimited, anytime a limiting thought comes in, when you begin to use these tools, you'll stop and you'll go, okay, there's something to clear. There's another one to clear. So you stop and you go, okay, what is this attempting to show me and teach me about me? And thank the person or the event. That's when you step into mastery, when you can thank the other person or the event that perfectly played its role on your agreed upon soul contract. Keywords, agreed upon. I didn't like that at first. There's times when my ego, Larry, still doesn't like it. And while I'm talking about Larry, I invite you to name your ego. Name it whatever you want. You can always change the name. You can name it. I named it Larry because Larry was the judge, the less than guy, the guy that didn't feel like he was good enough. So I named him Larry so I could see him every time he popped up. And then I created this tracking sheet. So at the end of the day, I could go, wow, I caught myself 79 times today judging or automatically reacting in a low vibration. Guess what? You catch yourself 79. Some people catch themselves 365 times and they write in their number on that. And if you don't think that's dismantling years and decades and other incarnations of programming, it is. And I've never found anything faster. I created it because I couldn't find it. And I'm all about fast. Because this life can go by quickly. Sometimes it seems like it's going really slow. But there is no such time. It's just an illusion. So Rob's was kind enough to share something here. So I'm going to pop it up. I'm healing from an April heart attack. Oh, brother, God bless you. Okay. Thank you for sharing this. You know, this gives me goosebumps. And it really hits me in the heart. Almost brings tears to my eyes because I can feel this. And when I get on a call with somebody, when they do a session with me, I usually get tears before they do because they're attempting to hold them back because they've been taught that tears are shameful. Tears are so healing. They're so healing. They're so healing. Why would we be taught to be ashamed of them? Because that's part of the inverted matrix. They don't want you to heal so they can control you. Okay? Just a little side note. So thank you, Rob. So I partook of Reiki and pranic healing sessions. I'm doing well to correct old unhealthy habits. Yet I still have emotional heartache. Okay. Yeah, I do too. I do too. I still go into judgment. I don't judge other people. Well, let me be really careful with that. I judge myself the most, really. I can still be really hard on Jeff. But anybody that's on this call and anybody that watches this replay, take a couple seconds and smile and send Rob's just a bunch of healing energy. And everybody else on the planet, everybody, including the people that we think are the most diabolical, demonic, evil people, send them love, send them love. Why? Because if you're holding low vibrational resentment or judgment towards anybody, you're holding it. And in 5D and beyond, in the higher timelines, we cannot be holding those lower frequencies of lack of forgiveness, resentment, anger, hatred, the lowest frequency. We can't be holding them. So send Rob's a bunch of love right now for him having the courage and authenticity and vulnerability to show up. So, hey, Rob, boom. There's my gold lion. Boom. Way to go, brother. And thank you for coming on and supporting these lives. I appreciate you. We just happen to be in a time zone where you're catching these because I'm in Thailand on Tuesday morning. I'm in the future a little bit. It's 9:31 a.m. here on Tuesday. And so, okay, I still have emotional heartache. Okay. So I know nothing. I don't necessarily have the answer, but I have some tools that are really powerful that I've been using on myself and with other people for a long, long time. And they work. So if you have emotional heartache, I would invite anybody that has emotional heartache or any judgment still or limiting beliefs or pain or anger or hatred or resentment to sit with yourself and journal it out and go, okay, let me tune in to this emotional heartache. Because if you're really willing to be honest, and this isn't just for Rob. Rob, thank you for showing up. I'm not projecting this on you. But if you're willing to sit with your stuff and ask, what is the story or wound underneath this that I'm feeling? And sit with it, it'll come up. And it's usually, from my experience, 9 times out of 10, it's usually around forgiveness and something that happened to you, a trauma that happened to you. So forgiving it and understanding that we chose these things before we came in here as part of our soul contract. And for some of you, that might be hard to believe because I work with amazing souls that have been through the most hellish stuff. Rape, abuse, MK Ultra, really horrible stuff. And they have the courage to show up and go, I'm ready to heal this. And we move through it. And we identify the block really quickly. And then from there, it's just practicing using the tools. Using the tools of forgiveness, consciously and intentionally seeing your body healed, loving on every one of these trillions of cells that's listening to you in every moment. and doing it every single morning before those 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running. So anyone else have a question? And thanks, Robs. I appreciate that, man. So yeah, we're here to heal, and we're here to support the collective. And we can't move into higher vibrational timelines unless we're willing to forgive everybody. Doesn't mean they're not held accountable. I mean, the people that are harming the children, see ya. But I'm not going to hold any lack of forgiveness in my frequency towards those people. There's no way they can escape what they've done. But for us, we must forgive. And in a way, look at what's happening. These people are so diabolical that it can no longer be hidden, that look how many millions and millions and millions and billions of people are awakening now. And they're going, something's wrong. So they're seeing that the government is rigged. Having anybody above you to tell you what you can and can't do, that's slavery, period. Just is. So if you think that voting in a broken and completely rigged system that's been broken and rigged for a long time is going to change anything, it's not. So, hey, Elaine, great to see you. I love your little squares because I think those are hearts on your phone or something. Sometimes the emojis don't always translate, but nice to see you. So, what may be a solution? And I talked about this on one of my last lives last week. It's on my page and my YouTube channel if you'd like to check it out, because it's powerful. Because the invitation was, do you believe, I knew they were, thank you. Do you believe that you can unplug from all the 3D drama in the same program running over and over again? Now it's monkeypox. Next month it'll be frickin' wormpox. It's the same story over and over and over. It's to keep you enslaved and to put you in fear, to go get another jibby. Come on. Okay? So here's the question. It's for me too, because I share a lot of stuff. And I share a lot of stuff on my Telegram channel that's kind of revealing stuff. It's not all super happy, but it's good news because it's getting revealed. So here's the deal. Do you believe and trust, keyword, that you can unplug from all the fear-based stuff? Do you believe that you can do that and still ascend into higher timelines? My answer is, I not only believe it, I know it. Although, yes, it takes practice. Because you could wake up and create your morning. Thank you, Elaine. And you could create your morning while your head's still on the pillow before all those thoughts start running about what you got to do that day, or check your email, or make a pot of coffee, or get the kids ready for whatever. I have everybody that journeys with me do this, and it's in the book and the course. Yeah. It's super powerful. Okay? So, consciously and intentionally create your reality first thing in the morning. And create it and feel it 1,000% with a smile of like an excited child on Christmas or on his birthday. And see it is already here now. Already here now, never in the future, ever, never in the future. You can have a plan. Well, by next year, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this every month. That's great. But the subconscious only creates something that is here now. So you give it those simple instructions. Yeah. And you keep practicing it. It's just practice. When you can practice it and be playful, then your frequency goes up higher faster. Because if you're practicing it, you're going, and I do this sometimes. I can get triggered. I don't get triggered at people. I can get triggered at my computer or mosquitoes. Yeah, There's a lot of them here in Thailand, and they're pretty brutal. And I think they were created by the Dark Ones, but that's for another. There's no point in really diving deep into that because I can't prove it. But the point is, Jeff still gets triggered, but I catch it immediately. And I'm like, oh man, are you kidding me? I'm pissed off at my computer because it just froze up or something. Okay, all right, okay, thank you. Thank you for showing me where I can still get triggered. When you thank it, you clear the energy very quickly. If you're still holding on to it throughout the day, yeah, that person did that to me, they always do it. Oh, my partner never listens to me. He always does that same thing over and over. Well, are you settling? Are you in a relationship with a partner where you can talk about anything and everything and do it without raising your voices? That's a conscious relationship. And again, are you settling? Or are you ready for something else, something better? Yeah, way to go, Elaine. Yeah. That's really key, to thank them. Because they trigger us in the beginning, and that's what I call being a little bit pissed off. However, if you understand the system from the higher self perspective, you're perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. You chose to come down here and go through the most challenging school ever. And why? Again, because you knew that no matter what, you can't die. When you leave this body, there's no disease, there's no pain, there's none of that. You could choose to come back, or you could ascend into higher timelines, which, for the first time to my knowledge, and I know nothing, that's one of my life-changing mantras. Yeah, I know that love is the answer, and I believe that I'm 100% unlimited. But when I instruct my ego that I know nothing, that allows all this information to come into me that's way beyond most people's tiny, tiny little belief system. Most people's belief systems wouldn't even fit on the head of a pin, and yet they defend them over and over and over. Anything that goes against that belief system, they have an emotional trigger in their body, which is a fear-based reaction, and that emotional trigger tricks them into believing that they're right. I'm right, God damn it. No, you're not right. You're triggered. And do you have the tools to clear that trigger and the conscious awareness to clear that trigger? Do you choose to? Or are you just going to loop with those tiny, 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 tiny little beliefs and never get out of 3D? And maybe you will. Maybe we'll get blasted by the sun or whatever, and everybody all of a sudden wakes up and they didn't have to go through everything that we did. I don't know. I'm cool with that. Whatever it takes, you know? But I'm just grateful that I had some great teachers and I chose not to leave the planet. Because I was ready several times in my 20s and 30s. So anyway, anybody have any questions around anything I've shared? Okay, so to recap, there is a gift contained in every single thing that happens to you if you have the awareness. And I don't even know if it's courage. I just call it awareness to go, okay, this keeps showing up in life for relationships. There must be a gift because my higher self keeps presenting me with this, so I'll clear it. Okay? So I would write that down. What is the gift here? 5 life-changing words. Okay, if nobody has any questions, I'm going to wrap it up. And super, super grateful for everybody that comes on. If this resonated with you, feel free to share it. I'd be very grateful because the more people that begin to see that we're programmed and we're not victims, and there's a way to undo the programs much quicker than just waiting for it to come around again, because that's not dismantling them. And if you're committed and you'd like to, if you're somebody that's ready to really be in a supportive position for people as they get shocked into it, because it's coming, shocks now. There's no more little crumbs. It's shocking. It's going to be shocking. It's going to be shocking for some people that are even awake, some of the horrific things that have been done to us. And if you're in a position where you would like to support these people, if you're a coach or an entrepreneur or a mom, or you're teaching kids or whatever, you just would like to become more self-empowered, then I invite you to investigate coming and doing a mentorship with me. 30 days or 3 months, your choice. And you can continue to go longer after that. And I'm willing to get on a free call with you. Absolutely no pressure. If you're not committed to doing it, I don't want to do it, because I'm not interested in pulling somebody uphill. The people that know they want to do it, it's built into their DNA. They're like, I'm ready, and I'll manifest the abundance to do it. I'm willing to invest in myself. And you can grab the book and the tracking sheet at half price right now. And it's like the cost of going out for dinner. It's even cheaper than going out for dinner. And if you think I'm one of those guys that's just trying to sell you something, I get on here week after week and I share these tools for free. And my YouTube channel, all my videos are free. And I'm not one of those guys that does an hour-long video and then goes, if you'd really like the tools, buy this. No, I'm giving you the tools. But the thing is that so many people, there's so many videos and so much stuff on social media that people get distracted. If you're just willing, thank you, Elaine, if you're simply willing to commit to going, okay, I'm going to give this 30 days. I'm going to go through this. Look how simple this book is. Look how big the type is. You could read this book in one day, but that's not the goal. The goal is to go through it slowly, to print out the tracking sheet, and to begin to use the tools, and at the end of the day, fill out the tracking sheet. It's so freaking easy. Children can even do it. And I guarantee you, I promise you, you're going to have aha moments, and you're going to begin to see those programs, and they're going to start to be dismantled, even if they're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. I use the word young because OLD is a spell word. But I have people that go through my course that are 80 years young. And they're like, oh my God, this is what we should have been taught at the earliest age. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So I'm converting the book to a book for children and parents. And nobody needs to go to school for 12 years to have their imagination squashed and to be told what to think. We must understand how to think and how to question everything and to get out of that tiny little belief system. So yeah, thanks, Elaine. Great to see you. Thank you for your love and support. And so yeah, that's I guess what was supposed to be shared today. And these lives aren't super easy for me, because I go, what am I going to share that I didn't share before? But what I've learned is sometimes people, including Jeff, need to hear things over and over and over before it really sticks. And this process is fast. It's freaking fast. So if you feel like you're not being supported or whatever, you are. You are. So every day I invite you, as soon as you awaken and you love on all your cells and you consciously and intentionally create your ideal reality, and your relationships and your abundance is already here now, I invite you to ask from your heart, how can I serve the collective today? Because in the beginning, most people are just serving themselves. I need, I want, I need, I want. It's not going to get you there. I can guarantee you, if you Set your intention. How can I serve the collective today? And then look for ways to do it. There's a million ways that don't require any money, so there's no excuses. You could just be simply smiling at everybody. You could just be simply sending love and healing energy to everybody and to all the animals and to the earth every day. Doesn't cost you a thing, but it's doing something to raise the frequency of not only yourself, but the planet and the collective and beyond. So I'll leave you with that. Again, if anybody would like to share this, feel free to do it. The faster we all support each other, quicker we're going to have our party. It's coming. It's already here. There's a link to the YouTube channel. And if you'd like to get on a free, no obligation call with me and tell me what is it you'd like to shift or clear or do, I'm happy to mirror you with my best tools. And if you decide that it's not the right time for you, it's great. You'll take something away that will help benefit you and the planet. Okay? So big, big, big love from Thailand. And thanks for being here at this time. It's really huge. It's bigger than the mind can actually comprehend. So we see you and we love you and can't wait to give you a big hug at some point. All right. Big, big love.